What's up, everybody? In this video, we are going to review the creation of a logo for your brand. While your logo is only part of your brand, it is often the most recognizable element for a company. Before watching this video, you should have a positioning statement and a list of adjectives to describe your brand. You may be familiar with many of the brands and logos that appear in front of you. Creating a logo is often a good first step in the process of creating visual assets for your brand. I should note that making a logo can take time and often requires a lot of revisions. The goal of this video is to introduce you to some good first steps when creating a logo. The first place to start with a logo is typography. Simply put, you want your logo to be legible and easy to read for anyone looking at it. You also may be wondering why I asked you to come up with a list of adjectives to describe your brand. You want the type used for your logo to try and match your brand adjectives as much as possible. Think of your logo as an accessory that accompanies the elements of your brand. If you look at any of the logos shown here, you will notice that they all use typography as the main graphic device. Each is easy to read, legible, and uses a solid color palette. None of them contain complex graphic elements. If I asked you to come up with a list of adjectives to describe one, each would have its own unique list that connects to their target audience. All the logos will scale to any size application. It will work on a small application like an app or a large application like a billboard. There are lots of different typefaces that you can select. When selecting your typeface, understanding the classifications and which typefaces will connect with your brand adjectives is important. You want the type to convey the same feeling. I'm going to provide an overview of 4 basic typeface classifications. One thing I should note is there are subcategories within each. The first classification are serif typefaces. A serif is an added stroke at the end of a letter, like little feet. Serif typefaces are normally considered to be more traditional and formal. Within serif typefaces, there are a lot of types. These can include old style, transitional, didone, and slab serifs. You can also find serif fonts that are a combination of these elements. Each style has its own look and feel. The next classification are sans serif typefaces. A sans serif does not have the added stroke and are often considered to be more modern and informal compared to a serif. When Google changed their logo from a serif typeface to a sans serif, it gave the logo a more modern, contemporary, and friendly look. The logo update coincided with the reveal of Google's new parent company, Alphabet. Script typefaces are based on handwriting. Based on the style of the script, they can range from being formal to very informal. They work well to communicate a unique look and feel for any logo. Script typefaces can be challenging, however, because many have legibility issues. The last classification for logos is display typefaces. There are a variety of different display typefaces, and they range from useful to novelty. Display fonts can really accentuate the brand adjectives for your company. You should have a mood board and brand adjectives for your company. If you don't, create these assets before you start trying to create a logo. What we want to do is have something to measure your designs against. This becomes a good process to have when you are working with a client. Instead of what someone likes or dislikes, ask them if this logo meets the following adjectives. When you start to sketch out some concepts for your logo, try and explore a variety of different concepts. Sketches are much faster than jumping to a computer. If I look at the sketches for Interweave, one concept that was explored was visualizing the name. I thought about a Celtic knot and how it was a visual weave and a union. This started as something very literal that I kept abstracting into a potential icon. After sketching, this is the first opportunity to evaluate fonts. My recommendation is to select a handful of typefaces from each of the type classifications. The goal here is to evaluate each typeface and compare it to your brand adjectives. Which typeface classifications fit the brand adjectives and which ones do not. Next, select the typeface classifications that you feel work well and explore various typefaces. For my example, since a wedding is a personal event, a handwritten font became one of the strongest choices for exploration. As you evaluate each one of these, once again come back to your brand adjectives and select the typefaces that best represent all of your adjectives. You will want to try this with any typeface classifications that align with your adjectives. This can take a while. Often, when I have done this, it has included adding versions that were all caps, lowercase, title case, and all sorts of variations. As you are comparing the different typefaces, try and identify 3 concepts that are worth exploring. Once again, use your brand adjectives to evaluate your decisions. Often, this is a good opportunity to explore different concepts and directions. Also, sometimes you may need to update your brand adjectives as you go through this process. Last, for each concept, a good process is to move between screen and pen and paper. Using whiteout and a black marker to adjust the letter forms, explore how adjusting the thickness and heights of the letters can adjust the original typeface into something that is unique. You can scan your drawings and then draw over them using your computer. Once you have 3 or a short list, this is a good time to review with a client or a peer. At the end of this video, you should understand the various typeface classifications for a logo, the role that your brand adjectives play in your logo creation, and a process to start to design your logo.